Hello, this is Greg Allison with Green Grades coming to you late night on the 3rd of October 2020. And I got a question for you. Will Turkey launch us into World War III? In fact, has World War III already begun? Some maintain that it's absolute certainty that superpowers are going to enter into the conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan, in good part because Turkey is getting involved, as has, believe it or not, Pakistan. So we're going to get into all this. We are into some trying times right now. For example, Recep Erdogan, the president of Turkey, as some of you may know, actually has got these grand fanciful desires, this fantasy of reviving the Ottoman Empire, of starting his own caliph. And of course, he would be the caliph, right? The head of the Ottoman Empire, renewed. That is his dream. And sometimes people, when they get in power and they get a lot of things in front of them and people tell them what they want to hear, they start believing in their own illusions. And what I'm going to tell you, when I get done telling this, you're going to believe this man is definitely delusional and believing in these delusions. And that is a scary point. So if he believes this stuff, that may be the only explanation for what he's doing, for the fire that he is playing with, for his impractical ambitions that he seems to be embarking upon. So, yeah, Erdogan actually has got Turkey now involved in 4 different theaters. Yes, they're engaged in, oh yeah, by the way, he's also got the 2nd largest army in NATO. Yes, he is a member of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization with the United States and most of Western Europe, and also some former Soviet countries or Soviet pact countries. So, wow, Warsaw Pact, if y'all remember what that is. So, and he's also facing off with Russia on multiple fronts. We're going to get all into that on multiple fronts. Are we really on the precipice of World War III? A lot of people think so. Now, and I'm going to show you. I mean, a lot of people go, what? Armenia? Azerbaijan? Turkey? You got to be kidding me. Huh. Wait till you hear this. Just wait till you hear this. But guess what? There is good news. There really is some good news. And the good news is that right now, yes, there is a special deal. You better be prepping. And right now, there's a special deal for your prepping. If you go to prepwithgreg.com, prepwithgreg.com, you can get $100 off, $100 off a 4-week supply of long-lasting, 25-year lasting food for an individual. Last you 4 weeks, 2,000 calories per day. And you know what? If you're in a bug out or it hits the fan situation, stretch the food out. It'll last longer. You get breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You also get some drinks and desserts. Yummy looking food, great deals. That's what you're facing potentially. We've talked about that. Hey, this comes in easy to carry buckets. It's dehydrated, freeze dried. So it's an awesome deal, my friends. You can also go to hey, you got to prep. If you go into this link right here, where the logo to My Patriot Supply, it still helps my channel. You can go in here and get all kind of special deals. I love these number 10 cans, survival items, survival gear. Now is the time to get your survival gear, and you should be clear on that, right? Water filtration for your home, stuff you carry with you in a pack. Air purification, my friends, great deals. Check it out. So let's stop. Oh, yeah, let's look in some of these things real quick. NATO countries. We're going to come back to this, but who's in NATO? Look here. Of course, Greece and Turkey joined early in 1952. You realize that these countries are facing off against each other? Do you realize that Turkey's also at odds with France? So it's going to be interesting, really interesting how this plays out, what's coming, and what our treaties. And by the way, when you consider this conflict in Azerbaijan and in Armenia, bear in mind, Turkey was behind, as the Ottoman Empire, which Erdogan aspires to recreate, behind this Armenian genocide. Check it out. Look it up. So they've already committed huge, great atrocities against the Armenian people, genocide, Holocaust. Yeah, it's been called the Armenian Holocaust. Go to Wikipedia and check it out yourself. Don't take Greg Allison's word for it. It's all here. It is all here. Oh yeah, and by the way, we could go to right in here and just do that right now. I won't do that right now. No, let's just get into this. Just start talking. Let me get all this share. Bam. Hello. I'm back. Yes. So let's break it down. Erdogan is involved in Libya and the Eastern Mediterranean. In the Eastern Mediterranean, he's facing, he's involved against Greece and Cyprus, and he's involved in Syria, which pits him against Russia. And we're going to break all this down. And most dangerously, of course, is this conflict with Azerbaijan and Armenia. But so they're in Syria, they're in the Eastern Mediterranean, Libya, and now in the Caucasus. So essentially, he's got Turkey fighting several different nations right now, including France and Greece, UAE, the United Arab Emirates, and Russia. And he's also involved in heated debates with Israel and the Saudi Arabians. And I'm going to go more into these things. So let me ask you, this Armenian Caucasus conflict, where it is, who's involved, could this be the prophesied Gog-Magog war? We've always thought it was this or that. Maybe this fits. Tell me, what do you think? Leave comments below. Maybe don't believe in those things. Well, I find it interesting. All these things are taking place. At the same time, we got somebody trying to build all these roads, Belts and Roads Initiative for Trade and Invasion, which I've covered previously. So, know this. Turkey has been battling forces from the United Arab Emirates, France, and Russia, and Libya. Turkey's side is not really prevailing too well in Libya right now, but they have been there. And that's what they've been doing. And according to French President Macron, he said that this whole thing in the Caucasus really is the fault of Turkey, that they essentially started in or maintaining it by backing Azerbaijan, and the way they are fully to the hilt, they feel no reason to come to the table and negotiate. Of course, now Pakistan's getting involved too. We'll have to talk about that. So, and in fact, I'm mentioned that the United States and Russia have both tried to get these two countries to negotiate, and all that's happened is the conflict is actually escalating right now. So, yeah, that is a problem. So, Erdogan is in Syria also, and there, they've been trying to overthrow Assad in part, but he's also trying to stop the Kurds. More than anything else, he's involved in trying to stop the Kurds from having a unified front. Anything that would challenge Turkey. Turkey has Kurds in it, Turkey has Armenians, and they don't like people that are of different ethnicities, other groups that aren't just fully, sucking into their empire. You've got groups inside of Turkey that don't want to be in Turkey. They want to be independent. And he's not just satisfied to fight them in his own country. He wants to go into other countries to fight these people. Because, well, he also wants these other countries as part of this new empire he's on, this revised Ottoman Empire. So, take these things into account. But all these things in Syria, he's also pitted against the Russians. We're seeing a pattern here now, right? A pattern. Remember, again, Turkey is a NATO country. It's in proxy wars with Russia, in Libya, and Syria. And most hotly now in the Caucasus with this Armenian and Azerbaijani conflict over Nagorono-Karabakh. So that's the region that the Armenians are controlling, that was in what was formerly Azerbaijan, or still considered to be Azerbaijan, that is Armenian people, this Armenian people there. What have I said all along? I've said any people should have the right to self-determination. Nobody owns any people. And this is what this conflict is about, and so many others that have involved Turkey. And, you know, I've done 2 videos on this. And one of them is, you know, where I'm, you used the character Gollum, right? And, you know, I was telling people that, you know, nobody has a right to control anybody else. My precious, you're mine. That's the way they're acting. You know, it's just as crazy as the obsessions of Gollum. Just as crazy, you know, and that's why I'm, you know, that Tolkien wrote that character up the way he did. He was showing you the problems with obsession. And I did a video which I specifically titled The Possession Obsession. And it was about all these countries and places that want to possess other people. You're mine. You're mine. No, you're not. They're not. They're theirs. You do not own other people. Nobody does. And that's a problem. So many people think, well, you know, they come all these excuses why they should control it. Well, this is our territory, and well, you know, we had an ancestor a zillion years ago. He walked there and blew his nose. I don't know. I don't care. You don't belong. Other people do not belong to you. People should have their own right of self-determination anywhere and everywhere. And countries all over the world have been violating this, and it's been permitted. It should not. It should stop. So that is a part of what this is all about. And that's why the Armenians don't want to back down. That's their people. That's their cousins, their brothers, their kinfolks over there. They're in this other country that they would just run all over. And so they're trying to defend their brothers, literally, their kinfolk, their family, their own kind, who would otherwise be run over. But of course, and they've been run over before. They know what it's like. They've been subject to a Holocaust by the very powers that are lining against them right now. So that's what it's all about. And locally, the problem is this can go global. So let's talk, and a lot of it's got to do with the ambitions of Erdogan himself. So there's bigger things, there's the conflict there, and there's bigger things brewing around all of this. And that's how I'm focusing this particular video, so you'll know these things. Oh yeah, by the way, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. This is part of my series of having your eyes wide open and head on a swivel, so you'll know what's coming at you. And this could come your way. And that's what I'm talking about. You know, you don't get into a WWIII without it having an effect on you and me. So just bear in mind, this could come here. We could get involved in this. And even if we don't, the ramifications worldwide can be catastrophic. And when one place goes, you know, and we're really looking over here, if we get things really cooking in the Caucasus, that means China might say, oh, I got a better chance now to wag my dog and go jump on Taiwan. Oh, by the way, China and India are also at odds. They can move in there. India's been at odds with Pakistan. Pakistan is siding with Azerbaijan. Pakistan is in there now fighting with Azerbaijan. Imagine that. So you see how all this is beginning to weave together? That's something to be concerned about. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying either of those events will happen. It's not a given that it will happen, but there are definitely people who think that it's going to happen. And some of these are some pretty high-level experts. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it some more. Like I said, Turkey is also a safe haven for Hamas. Yeah, Hamas, who's in control of the Gaza Strip, basically. And, you know, this is part of their grit that Turkey is having against Israel. So, and in fact, Erdogan has recently been holding a series of meetings with high-level officials of the Palestinians, and he's really trying to influence their elections to put people in there that are friendly to his, basically, takeover of power. And of course, what you may not know is that Turkey made this crazy statement in which Erdogan did, excuse me. Hey, you know what? There's good people in Turkey. There's even good Azerbaijanis. There's good Pakistanis. Some of my best friends have been in Pakistan. And, I had with school with an Armenian, and, I've worked with Turkish people and all of that, but we're good people. I admire them. But the countries, the governments, the leaders are quite often the problem. It can be in any country. And it doesn't mean that all the people go along with it. It's just who's in power at the time. Think about our country, how power changes sometimes left to right and all over the place. And the point the people take over, the kind of things they do. Do you agree with everything everybody does who's ever in this country? I would think probably there's nobody in here that would say yes to that. Maybe a few. But our country kind of flips and flops around, right? Well, some of these countries are, the leaders are sociopaths at best, typically, and sometimes psychopaths in a dictatorship. But see, Erdogan's also been trying to replace the Saudis because he wants to be in charge, of course, of the Muslim world. I forgot to mention what I was about to say a minute ago. What Erdogan actually said, he actually made this statement. He said Jerusalem belongs to Turkey. He didn't say the Palestinians or the Israelis. No. You expect, him being a devout Muslim, he would say Palestinians. No. We're talking Ottoman Empire here. We're talking about his delusions. He says Turkey should be the rightful owner. And the way he said it was Jerusalem belongs to Turkey. Wow. Wow. Don't they kind of tell you who he is and where he's coming from? Okay, you should get that, I hope. So, basically what you need to know is that many experts right now believe that Russia is going to enter into this fray, into the Azerbaijani-Armenian war. You got to remember, Russia has a base in Armenia. Russia is tightly coupled with the Armenians. They basically have a treaty. And Russia has said they're going to defend Armenia. Some say that Russian President Vladimir Putin will actually order an attack on Turkey. Got to remember, it's been said that the Armenians actually said that the Turkish Air Force entered Armenian airspace and shot down an Armenian jet over their own airspace. I showed pictures of the jet they claim got shot down by the Turks. Well, yeah, so it's also said that Turkey and Pakistan were reported to be sending terrorists from Syria to fight on the side of the Azerbaijanis. But now it comes out that Pakistan, members of the Pakistan army, are actually there. Yeah, now, as I said, the West and Moscow both have tried to get Armenian and Azerbaijan to the negotiating table. And it's failed. It's failed. Failed completely. And again, Marcon and others are saying this is because of Turkey, because of Erdogan specifically. Now, this has started out in Armenians' favor, even though Armenia is a smaller country, but not as wealthy as Azerbaijan, all this oil money. But the Armenians are pretty resolute on protecting their brethren. So they claim they've taken 22 tanks out, 4 helicopters, a number of drones, and unspecified number of artillery pieces. But we'll see where this goes, because with Pakistan and Turkey weighing in on the side of Azerbaijan, Turkey again has the second largest army in NATO. But should they be in NATO? Should we honor them if Russia strikes Turkey? After all this, should we go in and defend Turkey and go to war with Russia over this, when Turkey has clearly been starting all this and stirring up all this trouble with their fanciful ideas, their delusions of grandeur, of restarting the Ottoman Empire? And if they do want to start the Ottoman Empire, is this the way to do it? No. If a bunch of people say, oh yeah, we'd love to be in the empire, Erdogan, please bring us in. Please. Okay, whatever. But when you're going in with force, say all these places go, please take us. Nope, don't say it. Maybe I'm blind. I don't think so. I got 2 eyes in this incarnation. Just kidding, just kidding. All right, so basically Erdogan has turned Turkey into a belligerent theocracy. A belligerent theocracy. Kind of like the Ayatollahs, but maybe even more so. He's reaching out more. You know, he's taking on Russia. That's why I say he's a little bit delusional, at the least. So, look, if Erdogan don't change course and do so ASAP, he should be removed. The Turkish people should say, man, we don't want to take on Russia. That's nuts. Yeah, you know what you're talking about? Is Turkey is going to get its clock clean. Russia will go in here and teach them some lessons. Vladimir Putin will go in and kick them. The problem is you know, it's a lot of innocent people are going to be lost, including in Turkey. A lot of innocent people everywhere. And especially if we go in to defend Turkey, if we get involved, how are we going to be involved? Who else is getting involved? There's already several countries involved in this. It could escalate because Iran and Turkey are both on the borders of Azerbaijan and of Armenia. Yeah, there's all that oil to the east in the Caspian Sea. It's Russia to the north, Turkey to the east, west, I mean, and Iran to the south, Syria to the southwest. There's a whole lot of consternation in that region. It is literally a powder keg right now, big time powder keg, and the fighting is starting and it's escalating. So I would say, and Turkey is right in the middle of it. So I say at the least, Turkey should be pulled out of NATO, or NATO just shouldn't honor. Hey, look, Turkey's already arrayed itself in conflicts against Greece and France, NATO members. If they're out picking a fight, then we'll say, hey, boy, you made this bed, you lie in it. We shouldn't be out there to defend them. You know, they are a member of a treaty organization, and under normal terms, I would say, yeah, we've got to stand up to those terms. But when they start it, when they're picking the fight, even if Russia is the one that attacks them, I'd say no. Putin may just take Erdogan to the woodshed. He may not come back in one piece. But it would be very ugly, very ugly, very, very, very ugly. You know, until Erdogan took over, Turkey was very, very much had a lot of Western tendencies. You know, the people there were very much like Europeans in many ways. They were Muslim, but they were very much like Europeans, Westerners. Erdogan got this power fancy. He's delusional, in my opinion. You've got to be delusional if you're, even though he's got the second largest army in NATO, the largest army in that region, hands down. The notion that you're going to go in and just poke the eye in the bear and do so constantly, and you think you're going to get away with it? No, a lot of people can suffer tremendously as a result of this. We might get drawn in it. Other countries in Europe might. We not get drawn. We may at first say, hey, we don't want to be involved with Turkey. But we may get drawn in it with other reasons. Or there could be, China go, everybody distracted over here. It's time to grab over here or something else. Who knows? You know, normally I would say all this is nuts, won't happen. But my friends, this is 2020. This year is bonkers. We are in the year 2020, one of the bonkers years I've seen. So things that you would normally dismiss, I'd say don't dismiss it. Don't dismiss it at all. This is 2020. This is the nut job year. The year that, you know, they're trying to instigate things to make other things come to pass. That is why something crazy might go down. Just might. May not be here, maybe somewhere else. There's still the Himalayas. There's still Taiwan. All kind of places that are cooking, smoldering. What's going to happen? Iran. Oh my gosh. Cooking, smoldering. So my friends, let's pray for the best. Let's pray for peace. Let's pray that the Azerbaijanis, people they're called Azers, let's pray that they and Armenians find a road to peace. It does not include one people owning another people. That allows people self-determination and freedom. Let's pray that route is found without the bang bangs going off, if you know what I mean. Let's all hope that, you know, I don't really believe in the power of prayer. The greater creator tells us to pray, so why don't we? If you don't believe in all that stuff, okay, but you know, you can still meditate, think. Power of intention, it's the same thing. Like you reap what you sow, and what kind, you know, there's many interpretations of that across many religions, but it's still the same principle. Same principle. So greater creator left us with a lot of great principles. So whether you want to believe in that or not, let's hope that we don't get the worst case of this. All right, beat it enough. I just want you to know that the prospects are there. Like I said, if it wasn't 2020, it would be a lot easier to dismiss this stuff. But why is Erdogan so wrapped up? Well, that's what happens when you get delusional. Holy smoke. He's probably having dreams that he's going to be the king of the earth, king of the world. beyond the head of the Ottoman Empire, the Nebuchadnezzar. That was Saddam's great pitfall, downfall. He thought he was going to be the next Nebuchadnezzar. So guys, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Well, I guess Erdogan got too much of it, or just too much of something in his head. I hope for the people of Turkey that they get rid of him, for them, because, you know, if he invokes Russia upon them, oh, holy smoke. But with the size of forces involved, Turkey's got huge forces. This is not going to be a little pea shoot. This is not a, you know, no. This would be a very, very, very ugly conflict. And many other countries, including Western countries, definitely can get in it. Many Mideastern countries can get in it, like Saudi Arabia. And of course, we know Iran's against Saudi Arabia. Now, even though the Iranians are Shias, whereas, you know, Erdogan would be a Sunni, you could expect things could happen there. They might make an alliance. I kind of doubt it in this case. You know, hey, because, you know, Iran's also an ally with Syria, and definitely not Erdogan. But it's an interesting time. It's an interesting time. We live in interesting times in the Chinese proverbial sense, which is, of course, a curse. Anyway, my advice to you is get ready. Prep. One other thing, if you're not growing a garden, grow your garden. That's one of the best things you can do. Grow your own food. And again, Tree Leaf Market, they've got the seeds. And you come in here and you can go to the garden and look at all these vegetables, tons of seeds, and show you how to grow them. You should buy extra seeds right now just for the next season, because you don't know what's going to be available in a few months. We've already seen limited availabilities. There's rumors of a whole nother bug. And hey, you can grow stuff indoors. I got videos on that. Check below and see my videos on growing microgreens. And you can get the supplies. Microgreens, sprouts, wheatgrass, Tree Leaf Market. Get heirloom seeds, open air pollinated seeds whenever you can. I'll stop at share. So, yeah, get ready. Make peace with your greater creator and your family. If you get open disputes with people, try to settle them if you can. Some people don't let you, but at least make an attempt. Do your part, but be centered in yourself. Never panic. No matter how bad it is, don't panic. You get irrational, you panic, you make stupid decisions. But get ready, prepare, get your food, get your means of self-defense. Make sure you can filter water. You might need to filter air even. If you got a bug out location, make sure you can get to it. Make sure that when it goes down, you leave before they block the roads. Remember, A lot of these conflicts could start with an EMP, electromagnetic pulse. No, I don't think Turkey's going to do this. But if we get into it, Russia, that's definitely in their playbook. That's the first thing they would want to do. Same is true with China. And North Korea, right now, North Korea is kind of at odds with China, which, you know, that's an odd twist of things. But where's North Korea going? Who knows? That's another guy who lives in his own little fantasy world. So there you go. When you got people who have weapons of, they're so powerful, and they live in a fantasy world, our army is so large, and they're delusional, they're living in dangerous times, or they're a megalomaniac psychopath, and they're in charge of so many people and weapon systems, and are afraid to lose their base of power, then you've got a lot to watch out for. And when these people, there's people out there that find it, that their advantage may be theirs. If they wag the dog, then therein lies the danger. And I think that is the case in China. We'll talk about them in the future. When I say China, I mean the People's Republic of China, as led by the CCP, and particularly their president, Xi Jinping. So, again, good people there. Good people in every country. There's good people of every faith, every color, every race, every creed, every social background. Good people, smart people, hardworking people, people with good hearts. But then the problem is the people that take over, the leaders, the governments. You've heard me say that before. I'll beat on it no more tonight. Anyway, everyone, all I'm going to say now is peace. Have a great weekend. I wish everyone prosperity and health and peace. You know, live long and prosper. Nano. Hey, just having some little fun. Anyway, thank you for watching.